This absolutely changes everything for the Dodgers. You might be wondering, what exactly changed, Mike? This team is still a World Series favorite, but today's game gave you a look onto what changed for the Dodgers after today's start from Sasaki. I'm here to tell you all about it in this edition of Dodgers Digest. Hey, this is Mike Nelson. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the 45% of the ones who are watching these videos who have already hit the sub button. But 54% of you have not subscribed yet. I'm not sure why. Myself, Brad J, we're bringing you everyday Dodger content. You're not going to find content like this anywhere else on YouTube. We're the best Dodger channel out there. Don't let anybody else tell you different. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've already reached over 7,000 subscribers. We want to thank everybody around the world for their support. Let's get right into it. Of course, the Dodgers defeated the Phillies 3-1. It was a solid win. Today, the name of the game was pitching for both sides because both starting pitchers had pretty solid performances, right? Aaron Nola, Roki Sasaki, which we're going to get into in a bit. But looking at the offense, the Dodgers, 7 hits today. Everybody kind of contributed. Quiet day for Shohei Ohtani, right? Mookie Betts had a good day. Max Muncy started off the day going 3 for 3. What a day for Max. He was swinging the bat well after a lot of criticism earlier this week. That was fun to see. But the difference in this ball game was Shohei Hernandez, right? Hitting that 2-run shot in the second inning that gave the Dodgers the lead, and they never relinquished it after that. And then, of course, Michael Conforto added some insurance with a solo shot out in the 6th. But Shohei Hernandez, a batter that, is average. His numbers might be low, but wow, he continues to get these clutch hits in such clutch moments. I was talking about on the broadcast today for those that hopped on the stream today because we do live broadcasts of Dodger games on this channel. I was talking about how Shohei Hernandez does so much damage with 2 outs, right? With 2 outs, this guy is super dangerous at the plate, which is something that I think a lot of, players around the league, a lot of teams around the league are starting to take notice, right? We saw it in the playoffs last year. This guy is so clutch under pressure and is really clutch when there's 2 outs. And that makes him super dangerous. And I think today he proved it again, right? 2 outs hit, 2-run homer, a first pitch swinging home run, really aggressive. And, Aaron Nola ends up looking out at left field, seeing the ball go over the wall in a huge moment in this game. But the big story in today that changes everything for the Dodgers' outlook, Roki Sasaki. I mean, this guy was dominant, right? Only gave up 3 hits, only was charged with, gave up the 1 run in this ball game. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, pretty solid. 4 strikeouts for a young pitcher, only walked a couple batters, which a lot of people in the last few weeks have been complaining about Sasaki's command, and the guy's wild. The guy doesn't have command of his fastball, and whatever. There was a lot of criticism thrown at Sasaki's way after his start in Japan and after his start last week against the Tigers. Right, there was cut prematurely after exiting the game in the second inning, but today he made it to the 5th inning, left a couple runners on. Anthony Banda had to close out the deal in the 5th inning. Did a great job doing it. But we kind of also talk about the base running blunder that Bryson Stott had for the Phillies, right? I mean, if Stott doesn't take off for second with that ball in the air, I mean, he's basically assuming that Teoscar Hernández is not going to make this out, which is kind of absurd because I was watching it live as it happened, and it looked like Hernández was going to make this catch, right? And it was going to be simply a sacrifice fly. Because even JT Realmuto was hanging out at third, waiting for that ball to be caught. But Stott just took off and didn't think correctly. And Teoscar has made a heads-up play, throwing the ball to first, tagging up Stott before JT could touch home. And that was the difference in this entire ballgame. Comment below if you think that changed everything. It changed absolutely everything. It would have, that run would have been charged to Sasaki as well. Because it would have been, JT got on when Sasaki was still pitching in that 5th inning. But it ended up changing this entire game, a base running blunder. It just shows you how important base running is. And, that game would have been tied at that point, and it wasn't, right? The score stayed 2-1. Then Conforto, of course, added that 3rd home run with the solo shot. But really, the Dodgers were better today. Sasaki this changes everything. Come on, Sasaki, this guy, if this guy becomes to be a dominant pitcher for the Dodgers, I mean, what are we talking about here? I mean, the Dodgers already have a really strong rotation. They already have a stacked rotation from top to bottom. And if they're able to add on another pitcher, another player to this star team, I mean, come on, we're talking about the best pitching rotation probably in baseball history. I mean, that's how good this rotation can be if Sasaki can turn out to be a number one guy. Maybe not a number one guy with the Dodgers, but I'm saying if he could pitch like a number one pitcher, like an ace, I mean, who's going to beat this team in terms of pitching? Now, today, Sasaki was confident. He looked a lot better. He was throwing the split finger a lot today. And I think, the fastball is still, I don't think he feels as confident yet with the fastball, especially with 2 strikes. You see him, he's still trying to kind of, learn his way here in the major leagues and when to throw it and the location and all that. But, because you got to be really careful, especially the Phillies, right? I mean, come on, they got Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, all these really dangerous, Nick Castellanos, all these guys can hit the ball out of the park, right? And Trey Turner's got some pop too. We saw that with the Dodgers. So they got to be really careful. He's got to be really careful what he throws. And Sasaki did a good job today with pitch selection and not really giving the Phillies any, clear opportunities to jump on him, right? 5th inning was the only trouble he ran into, but luckily he has such a good bullpen to, get basically those 2 runners never crossed the, home plate, right? Because, nobody scored after that. The bullpen was great. It was excellent. Tanner Scott got the save. Everybody was good. Ben Kasparius came in and got a couple strong innings, right? Alex Vesia looked good. Today, the name of the game was pitching. It was a cold day in April in Philadelphia, a cold spring day, low scoring. The ball was not carrying one bit in Philadelphia. Watching the game today, just was not carrying out. I mean, for the Dodgers, they had a couple home runs because Kike Hernandez and Michael Conforto just hit the ball that hard, but they really had to hit that ball for it to leave the park because it just was not, the ball was just not being a friend to these hitters today. It just wasn't, right? The wind wasn't helping out. The ball was just not carrying out, and it was a rough day for the offense on both teams for sure because it was really good pitching. And also the Phillies losing the game the way they lost. I'm going to ask everybody out there, when was the last time? I've never seen it. 3 pitches, 3 outs in the 9th inning. Come on. 3 pitches, 3 outs. The Phillies swang at the first pitch in every at-bat in the 9th inning. And they were doing that all afternoon long. Just way too aggressive, the Phillies hitters, and the Dodgers capitalized on that. And just a strange ending to this game. Super strange, to say the least, in the 9th inning. But I want to thank everybody who hopped on the stream today, and I want to thank everybody for watching this video. Make sure to like it, and as always, let's go Dodgers. Woo!